A North Korean friendship was cultivated and founded by the leaders of previous generations in the two countries, and they are valuable assets of the two countries. Both sides must work hard together to promote further development of relations between the two parties and two countries to benefit their two peoples. That sounds more like, we're going to be buddy-buddy as opposed to North Korea, you better knock it off.
Well, to me, it sounds like a bit of hot air, to be honest. I mean, I think that they have some real issues that they've got to iron out. The question is, can they start to walk back from the activities that they have engaged in over the years, and can they do that in a way that saves face? Neither side wants to say they've been doing anything wrong, but of course now there's international pressure, there's pressure from the United States, so the hope is they're at least talking about this behind closed doors.
Well, you point to the magic formula right there when you said saving face. I mean, how can they back away from this? Does Kim Jong-un put a olive leaf forward to the world and say, I'm not going to test any more missiles at the moment for some reason to try and foster world peace and better relations with, Beijing against the imperialistic Americans who we hate? And that gives them an excuse to do that? Or what they want to do is have us stop the joint military exercises with South Korea, which we certainly won't agree to.
No, I don't think that the United States backs down in the least. I think we have our military on full alert, and I don't expect that to end anytime soon. I think on the North Korean side of things, they have a pattern where usually in the fourth quarter of every year, they slow down their missile tests. It might have something to do with weather. It might have something to do with budget. I don't know. But I've seen these charts and graphs, and the data points to a slowdown. So they're already in a position where they can start to acquiesce to American demands, and they can point to the historical data and say, look, we're just doing what we always do, and in the meantime, perhaps start to walk things back. And I think the only way that happens is if the Chinese say, look, you've got to do this, or we're going to be in big trouble in this part of the world.
So actually, finally, what you're just raising is a possibility of we're in a golden period now where they historically, through the winter, don't have these tests. This gives them and us the room, potentially, to at least to try to, the wiggle room to try to come up with something. And they can claim, oh, it's part of what we always do. Yet at the same time, it gives an opportunity for some type of negotiation.
That's right. I mean, it's been, I believe, 60 days or more now since we've seen a North Korean missile test. So things have been quiet. Now, I don't want to say that they're not working on their nuclear program. They are. Without any question, they are, and they're working on those ballistic missiles. But there is this cooling off period that has just been kind of baked into the process here. The question now is whether the Chinese can gain some leverage thanks to perhaps some American arm twisting. But, a lot of this process is going to be very opaque for the weeks and months to come.
All right, Jonathan Schanzer for the the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. You're right. It's been, I think, September 15th, a few days before President Trump at the UN said that he would destroy North Korea if they did indeed attack. That potentially has certainly made them quiet. Jonathan, good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
With Prime Minister Turnbull and Prime Minister Abe of Australia and of Japan. You know them well. I know them well. We've had many meetings. We're having another one right now. Primarily focused on trade, North Korea, other subjects. But we're very far along. The dialogue has been very good, I think, for all countries. And we look forward to the continuation of that dialogue. Mr. Prime Minister, would you like to say?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. It is great to be with you and Prime Minister Abe. We're working very closely together. We've got the same values and the same focus, and ensuring that the North Korean regime comes to its senses and stops its reckless provocation of and threats of conflict in our region. Peace and stability have underpinned the prosperity of billions of people over many decades. We're going to work together to ensure we maintain it.
Okay. 北朝鮮の問題は近の課題であります。日本、米国、オーストラリアは普遍的価値を共有する国で、そしてまた戦略的利益を共有する。今日、北朝鮮の問題をはじめ、地域の平和と安定のために資するような、そういう理念を考えたいと。今後ともこの3カ国がしっかり協力していくことが地域の平和と安定に深めて重要だろうと、その意味においては今日の 日米豪の3月の会議は大変
North Korean defector soldier
Yes.
was shot down by the North Korean army at the JSC joint security area in Panmunjom. Do you have any comment on this incident?
So I think this man, and forgive me because I may have missed some of the headlines in travel over the past week or so, but I think this man was trying to cross into North Korea from South Korea, and he's been detained by the South Koreans. I think that is where it stands right now. He's an American citizen. As you know, we can't say a whole lot about that. If I have anything more for you, I will certainly give it to you if I can, but you know, we're limited in terms of the things that we can say about Americans.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's health has been called into question as the regime's missile tests have been silent for 60 days. Eerie silence has fallen over the Korean peninsula as not a single weapons test has been launched for more than 2 months. Spies have warned of imminent launches and detected rockets being moved around, but there has been not a peep from Kim.